All right, my bad, y'all. I got a little late start. I'm going to share my screen and get it going.
With that, I'll answer whatever questions you have.
We'll rewind it
All right,
afterwards.
let's go to Skylar Callahan, followed by Nicholas. Good morning.
Hey, Matt, just talking about Jeff Nixon, you've had obviously some history with him. Do you feel like this could maybe be like a 5-game audition for him to maybe assume that role full-time moving forward?
Yeah, I told Jeff this is about this week. We need to do everything we need to do to beat the Atlanta Falcons. Jeff, he's a guy who's been a running back coach. He's been an assistant special teams coach. He's been a tight ends coach. He's been
he got something in his nose, man.
Level. So he's a good football coach, a very steadying personality. He'll pick up the mantle and run with it. But to me, this is just about this week. However long it lasts, it lasts. I think all of us in the organization, we've had some ups and downs. Obviously, we have to just be really, really focused on each week. So this is for him to do right now. And then, the future will be the future.
Matt, when you were looking at things over the week, what was kind of the main thing you landed on when you were coming to your decision, and why make it now with 5 weeks left?
Well, I think the decision was made, and so I didn't see any reason to wait. I felt that this was the right move, and it was just purely football. I think that this was in the best interest of us moving forward. I feel like we can play better on offense. That's not about any one person or any one thing, but I just
Me too, coach.
Feel like this was the best way that I can help us move this forward offensively. And as I said, I'm going to count on the coaches that we have, the players that we have. We've got to coach our best and play our best these coming weeks. But I thought with the bye week that this was the appropriate time.
All right, let's go to Joe Person, followed by Jonathan Alexander.
Hey, Matt, I know on the bye week you had said all your guys were, and
somebody got to tell him he got something on his nose, dog.
Kind of gone and out of the building. Just kind of when and where you kind of reached the decision.
The exact date I don't know. I mean, I kind of came out of the game with some feelings and just but in a lot of different areas, and just took the week to go back and watch tape and think about it, and kind of finalized that decision later in the week.
Waiting kind of later in the week, did that kind of hurt in terms of giving Jeff a head start on kind of getting things organized and so forth?
No. Everyone had projects to do last week, so everyone got their stuff done. And
projects. What is this? School? What is this? College?
We're not changing what we are or what we're doing. We're just
projects.
We have our offense, we have our installations. It's just about the vision we have for what we're doing right now.
Man, did you? How much of a factor was the fact that you all couldn't run the ball play into why you felt like you needed to go in a different direction?
Good question.
Just overall football wise, when you said you couldn't run the ball, you talking about this past game, or?
I'm talking about probably like the last 5 weeks where you talked about wanting to run the ball 30, 33 times, and I think only one game being able to reach that. 1 or 2 games.
Twice. No, it's a good point. I think it's all comes together in the same, it's all part of one big thing. It's not any one thing. It's just kind of, the vision of how we think we need to play and where we'll be moving forward.
And what is that? If you can say.
Just what you said, we want to be a team that can run the football, but, obviously we can't throw multiple interceptions. We have to be able to pass. I mean, whatever we do, we have to just do it at a higher level. And again, that's not about any one guy. It's just, we have to play better on offense. And,
that double talk is crazy, bro.
But it's I'm not going to boil this down to one specific thing, right? If it was one specific thing, it'd be easy to fix. It's just, overall. And so this was the move that I felt like we had to do.
Let's go to Chris Jenkins, followed by Will Block.
Hey, Coach, I'm assuming you've met with the new team or offensive coaching staff, so to say. And I just wondered if you provided any points of emphasis that you wanted for them in terms of the direction of the offense.
Yeah, I get up in front of the team every week. I get with the staff every week. we detail as a collaborative effort, but led by me in terms of how we think we're going to play that week. How we want to game plan, call the game, points of emphasis, players to attack, keys to victory. Typically the team knows it at a pretty high level. It's easy to say, it's hard to do, Chris, there's they have things on their end too. We know exactly, hey, this is who we want to be. I think everyone here knows who we want to be. I mean, it's not like there's like a major philosophical shift. It's just, we just got to push ourselves in a direction of better execution. And then each week we'll bring a kind of a different game plan within the same, overall strategy, and we'll try to execute it. So we have a good feel for who we are this week. We're starting on Atlanta, obviously we've lost Christian's a big deal. You have some O-line issues. So we'll have to work through all that as the next couple of days come out.
Oh, we've had
And if you
O-line
could just
issues
touch
all
on what
year, dog.
made Jeff the right guy for the rest of the season for this?
Just what I said before. I think he's a calm, steadying influence. He has experience as a coordinator. There's lots of guys that could, would be good at this role. I wanted to keep, Sean in the quarterback room, full time. I think that's important for us right now. I think, Jeff is a guy that collaborates well with each other. And I think the one thing that sometimes gets lost out there in the world is, I think on any staff, even as they get ready for a game, as they script out play calls and all those things, it's really a collaborative effort. All that being said, I'm never going to, BS you guys. So, I gave one guy that, that overarching ownership of things, and he has to do a good job. So I'm confident that Jeff will.
Matt, I had two. I'll go one at a time. First, how, with Jeff in place, will your role change at all on game day in terms of play calling? Like, will you have a greater emphasis on that, or will that just kind of be left up to Jeff?
No, I think, like I said, I think Ellis asked me that a couple of weeks ago. I think everything that happens on game days, my responsibility. So if there's something I don't like, I'll say it. Or if I say, hey, let's get to this, both offense, defense, special teams wise, Chase comes up with a great punt fake, but we don't call a punt fake without me saying, hey, let's run. I'm good with it. Let's run it right now. So my job's to orchestrate the game. Some games things go according to plan. Some games don't. I think, as a staff, we can continue to work to be better in terms of adapting in game to what people are doing to us. It's Monday. We have a long way till Sunday, so we have a lot of work to do in terms of, the flow of this game and all that.
Somebody needs to ask this question.
Is there something specific, or what specifically are you hoping to get out of Jeff's leadership and tutelage that you weren't getting out of Joe Brady?
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything.
Good
about
question.
I went.
He ain't.
Jeff and the offensive.
He not
going to score points.
Yo, he gets so mad. Yo,
we want to win football games.
He
Defensively,
gets so mad
well enough most times to win. We got to score more points on offense. And
bro, we've been saying that, fam. And you try to throw the defense under the bus every time. You finally being truthful now. You finally keeping it a buck.
Let's go to David Newton, followed by Ellis Williams.
Hey, Matt, I was wondering in hindsight, how much of Joe's inexperience as a play caller was a factor in your decision?
Nothing about anything in the past. When I took the job, I decided to, I decided to be bold and step outside my comfort zone, and someone that I knew, and went in a different direction. I went with Joe, and I certainly don't look at that as a mistake. I think what Joe did the first year, dealing with COVID and installing a whole new system, we obviously had some turnover at the quarterback position. I think I look at Joe's time here as I see all the good things that he did. It's just you get to a time such as this, and it's time to move in another direction and continue the evolution and the process of building forward. And I'll just say it again. I think Joe's going to have a fantastic career. Sometimes the worst things that happen to you are the best. And, I'm grateful for his time here. So he's done a lot at a young age. He's got a lot more to do, and he'll do a lot of great things. I wanted to go outside and be bold and be aggressive. And I think we've had a lot of good moments, and there's a lot of good things that are in the system that we'll build off of moving forward.
You say go outside your comfort zone. You mean, can you explain that a little bit more?
Like I said, hiring someone, that didn't have much history with, hiring someone, with a different system than I knew. And, I'm glad that I did it. I think Joe brought a lot to us, and there's a lot here embedded in place that we're going to continue to build off of. So, Joe's a good football coach, and so I appreciate his time here.
Somebody got to tell Matt Rhule he got some on his nose, fam.
Matt, aside from the change at OC, it sounds like you guys took the bye week to self-scout and learn some things about yourself. What did you learn about the offense, and what do you think you guys are doing well that you hope Jeff can build upon now?
Ellis, to be quite honest, usually when I self-scout, I look at all the things we're not doing well. I think some of our run game has really improved. Maybe not the volume of it, but we've had some success in some areas that we hadn't had before. Obviously, last Sunday was such a bad game, such a tough game that, until you play another game, you're kind of in that mode. I feel like one of the biggest areas for us to improve as we move forward is just our third quarter offense. We've scored 18 points all year. We had a punt blocked. So I think, we come out to start games. We've had more success early in the game than we do later in the game. So, and that's really true for us, to be quite honest with you, on defense as well. I think you asked me after the game, hey, were they flat? I'll be honest, I didn't feel any sense of flat. I think Miami played a really good game against us, and they were really physical. And, so I think one of the areas that we can improve as a team is just coming out of the half, how we are in the third quarter. And that's been true for a while now. We've talked a lot about it, and it resonated and all that. So, it's maybe not as bad. It's not great on defense, but it's certainly on offense. 18 points isn't great. So I think that's a point of emphasis for us. Red zone defense is a point on defense. Offensively, there's in the last 5 games, we've done some good things on third down up until the last game. So I think the passing game in general, we have a lot of work to do to just clean some things up. And obviously when you have the changeover we've had at quarterback, 3 quarterbacks have played, that's not a recipe for success in the National Football League. So there's a lot that we have to just kind of isolate right now. And we have 5 games to improve, and we have 5 days to get ready for this game.
And speaking of the quarterback changes, and can you speak at all to the relationship Cam and Jeff have and what they're going to be focused on this week in practice?
Yeah, I mean, Cam's relationship is really with Sean. I think Sean's done a good job of introducing him to that. He's worked with him a lot last week as well. So there's a lot to make sure that Cam is ready to go next week.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go to Darren Gantt, followed by Joe Person.
Matt, the last time we talked to you, you kind of alluded to the possibility of, maybe some PJ. Have you got a clearer view after a week of looking at things on what the role is? Is it Cam and just Cam, or how are you going to utilize that position?
He don't know.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to delve too much into that today.
Because he don't know.
Maybe a little bit more on Wednesday. I think when PJ plays, he's 2-0 as a starter. When you're sitting here and, you're trying to win games. I mean, you have faith in him. I also have a lot of faith in Cam and the direction he's headed. So, we'll finish the Atlanta game plan and see where we are.
Matt, did you consult with Dave on this decision, and have you had discussions with him just about the direction of the program?
I talk to Dave all the time. I wouldn't say this was my decision. I obviously let him know. I'm not going to, not tell the owner. But Dave's been very supportive of, to say whatever, what you think is best. And to me and Scott, kind of in all areas, I think he's an excellent owner in that regard.
All right, let's go to Jonathan Alexander, followed by JB Riggs.
Forgive me for not knowing, but Matt, are you all under
Get the other
Jeff Nixon
nostril, dog.
offense? Are you all running the same offense, or does the offense have to learn a little bit more of a different type of style? I think because of Cam, coming in new and things like that.
Yeah, no, just what I said before. We're going to keep doing the same things. Just what we know. How exactly you do that. I mean, obviously, within the system, there's a lot of flexibility, but we're not going to go in a veer in a different direction. So I think it's just, to me, more about us doing what we're doing better.
Hey, Coach, JB Riggs here from Spectrum News 1. I appreciate you taking out this time. I'm just curious about the process of informing your players, specifically your offense, and what their reaction was. Did you sense a any rejuvenation or still maybe a little bit of confusion on how to get things working? What was the sense of the players' reaction?
Good question, though. Good question.
I think you probably have to ask them a little bit more in terms of, I think everybody's got a different reaction. I don't think it's one global one. I don't think anyone was, excited or enthusiastic or anything about someone losing their job. I mean, I think all of us in this world understand just how tenuous it is, coaches, players, staff, everybody. So none of us like any part of this. In terms of moving forward, I think the message very simply is we have, all of us, we have to play well enough to win. We have to coach well enough to win. We have to be humbly focused on every single game, and we have to get rid of all of the, sort of the, hey, we're going to be more urgent this week. Hey, we're going to be more accountable this week. Just everybody's got to go out and play well. You can
That's
talk
what we've
about
been
urgency and
saying.
accountability all you want, and then you get beat on a
keep that rah-rah shit.
You make the wrong call on the hash. Just comes down to doing your job at a high level, and it's not easy to do your job. A lot of times you try to do your job, and the other guy does his, but it just comes down to football. And so, from the very first time I got here, that's all I talked about was being a serious football place. That's all football. And, these days are hard, but hopefully it just continues to push it towards, hey, we're here. We got to play well. We got to win, and that's for all of us.
All right, we have time for a few more. Let's go to Steve Reed and finish up with David Newton.
Hey, Matt, obviously losing Christian's a big blow, and also Dante. I guess we've seen what you're probably going to do with Christian coming back. Can you kind of elaborate?
He is sweating hard, bro.
Guys might have there, and who will take over cornerback there with Dante up?
Obviously we have Chuba and Amir. We have a couple guys on practice squad, Spencer and Reggie, and obviously Reggie's a guy who's played a lot of football, so I think we have a good feel for what will be a tailback. On defense, we've been playing a lot of guys at corner, but CJ Henderson's really come a long way. Been playing Keith Taylor, AJ Boye, Steph Gilmore. Sean Melvin's a guy that I love when he's out there. I think he's a good, tough, sturdy, physical football player. I love the way Rashawn plays and
play the young dudes,
he
bro.
Broke his hand,
and Gilmore
cast it up, and he's available. So it'll just be all those guys stepping up.
You don't want to name a starter there yet?
On Monday, no.
Corner.
No, I can't do that. I'm sorry.
Hey, Matt, I just wanted to be clear on your quarterback. Could you remind us that PJ is 2-0 as a starter? Is the plan still to start Cam and then play both of them, or could there be a different plan there?
Yeah, like I said, I'm probably, I just probably don't, without game planning, and don't want to give too much away, obviously, to Atlanta. So I think we'll go through the next couple of days, and on Wednesday I'll probably have a better feel for you. But I would certainly anticipate Cam still starting. I don't think anyone played real well last game, but I think he's doing a lot of good things. So I think the question really is, would PJ have a role? And that's up in the air right now.
Okay, thanks.
Thought that was
thanks,
it.
Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, I do want to go back before we close this out. When this thing becomes live, I do want to go back and get his opening statement, because he did make a statement and we just missed it. So hang in there. Whenever this goes, when I can go back, whenever they stop it. Oh, here we go. This is the opening statement from Joe Brady. From Matt Rhule on Joe Brady. Somebody had to tell that man he got something on his nose. It's not muted. Just give it a second. It'll come up. So here's his opening statement.
All right, everybody. Good to see you. Last Monday after the Miami game and talking to you guys, I know, Joe, you asked, and a couple of the guys asked, plans for the bye week and will we make any changes, anything like that. At the time, I said, I think I told you guys I felt it was appropriate to take some time during the beat week, go back, really think about where we are in the process,
beat week.
what we need to do, go back and watch the tape, watch the practices, and make a clear-headed decision. Planned on meeting with Joe on Saturday. He wasn't available Saturday, so I sat down with Joe yesterday. On Sunday, informed him that I was going to go in a different direction, that I was going to, relieve him of his duties as offensive coordinator. Joe's an unbelievable person. excellent young coach, and a consummate professional, to be quite honest with you. He shook my hand, thanked me. We ended with a hug, and I wish him the best. And I'm very grateful for his time here. He's done a lot to get us moving in the right direction, but this was something that I felt like from a football perspective, we needed to do now. So as we move forward, I'm going to count on our offensive staff to be very focused day by day, week by week. Everyone's kind of assigned an area previously, third down, red zone to game plan and kind of be in charge of. So they'll continue to be in those areas. Jeff Nixon will assume responsibility, the duties of the offensive coordinator position. He'll call the plays in conjunction with those guys. Obviously, as with everything in the organization, I'll oversee those guys and hope that, we can play our best football as we move forward. So I know you guys will have a lot of questions about that. I hope you'll understand, out of respect for Joe, I probably won't go into tremendous detail. This was just something, as hard as it is, that I felt like was right for us right now. So with that, I'll answer whatever questions you have.
Yeah, so pretty much he didn't say nothing. That was the opening statement. We caught everything else. Yeah, we ain't getting nothing from this. Didn't expect to get much from it. It is what it is. It's all cap. I got a meeting at 2:00, so I'm not gonna I'm not gonna sit up here and give y'all an assessment or breakdown of it, because it's pretty much, he fired him. It was you could call it a scapegoat fire. You could call it just making a statement or making a example out of somebody. You can call it a lot of things, but we'll see what happens moving forward. It's nothing really. Nothing groundbreaking. Again, he always tries to save face when he does these things. Like, whenever somebody gets demoted or somebody gets relieved of their duties, he never wants to talk about them and why he did it. Like, he just says, "Yo, I want to do it. I want to make a change. It's time to make a change." But he never goes into the nuance of what specifically, because I feel like there was a specific reason. Like, say the specific. Like, Personally, I think that they have two different philosophies. I think Matt Rhule wants to run the football. Joe Brady's an aired out guy. And because they couldn't come to an agreement, because you see Jonathan Alexander ask the question, "Yo, you want to run the football 30-some times? Yo, why is that not happening?" And did that factor into it? He should have answered that question, because that really is an indicator of why maybe Joe Brady was fired. He never gets into that. He always saves face and never wants to talk about never wants to talk bad about anybody. So it is what it is. Again, man, make sure y'all holler at us tonight. We're gonna be breaking all this stuff down even more tonight, 8:30. We go live every single Monday. So if you're new around here, hit the subscribe button. We go live every Monday night at 8:30, no matter what. So we'll holler at y'all tonight. A lot to talk about, but I got to get off this phone or off of this joint because I got to join a meeting. That being said, I'm out. Peace.